Lansing Catholic Podcast. My name is Father Joe. I'm the chaplain here.
I'm Mr. Stolpa, Dean of Intellectual Formation.
And we have a very special guest, Father Bob Bacik, pastor of St. Gerard.
Hello. Thank you for having me today on this wonderful podcast.
At some point, Father calls all of our guests very special. So,
So if they're all special, does that mean none of them are special?
That's a very incredible way to look at it.
Maybe I should stop saying that.
I'm special.
Well, and then, and then there's a ranking of our guests. Like here, we have a regular guest with us today.
In any case, we have a guest, Father Bob. Thanks for coming.
It's homecoming week, Father. Do-do-do-do-do.
Yes. So we got a couple of special things this week. First of all, there's an all-school mass today, Monday the 23rd. That is also our grandparents' mass. So if there are any grandparents listening to this podcast, be sure to come to mass today. It's at school at 1:45.
Do they have to sign up to come, or can they just show up?
You can just show up.
Will they be sitting with their grandchild?
Yes. If your grandchild chooses to recognize you publicly in front of their friends, they will come sit with you. And if they choose not
Father,
to...
wait a minute. You're opening up a can of worms here. Do you not speak with your grandparents in public?
My grandparents, I'm very sad to say, all died before I was born. So I never really got the whole grandparents experience. Wow. I have some uncles
Most people like their grandparents.
Yes. But I'm aware that teens get a little self-conscious about showing family affection sometimes. So anyways, Mass... We'd love to see you there. Also, we've got another special Mass on Friday. That'll be for the football team. We have this Hall of Fame induction ceremony. So that'll be on the 27th of September at 3:30. So if you're interested in coming to the Hall of Fame stuff for football, it starts with Mass.
And of all there's a lot of homecoming-like things happening this week. So there's dress every day, different dress. So Monday, house shirt and uniform bottoms. So Father, wear black. Tuesday is pajama day, so Father, also wear your cleric black. Again.
I do not wear these when I'm sleeping.
Wednesday is twin day, so dress like someone else or one of the Minnesota Twins, I assume, or Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito. Father, you could just wear your cleric black.
That is a good reference.
Thursday is dress as your hallway team day. So for those who don't know, the theme for this year for the hallways are the four major Michigan sports, right?
The Red Wings, the Lions,
the
Tigers.
So the seniors are the Lions.
Okay, fitting.
Why?
They're having a great season.
I thought
everyone
they're
wants
the
to be
kings
the
of the
Lions.
jungle.
Or that, I guess.
Juniors, who are they?
I don't know. I'm going to say Tigers.
Because they're hunting for the playoffs right now?
I don't know. I'm just guessing.
And then I think that
Was
might
I
be
right?
correct. I don't know.
You don't even know.
This is bad information here. Sophomore. I do know the sophomores. Well, I don't know. I guess the sophomores are probably the Red Wings then, and the freshmen are the Tigers. No, sorry, the Pistons.
Okay.
Because they're the worst.
Okay.
They got the boot.
The boot.
So that day, Thursday, for your spirit wear, dress like your hallway. Father, wear your cleric black.
I had a student dress as me on Twin Day once.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that sacrilegious?
I mean, I don't think so. It was kind of funny.
Do you wear socks with sandals?
You should have. He had a black turtleneck with a white piece of paper taped to the collar, but the socks and sandals would have been a good touch.
And then finally, Friday is the Cougar Spirit Wear Day, so wear something Cougar related. Father, you can wear your cleric black for that one too, if you would like.
I was just at the cross-country team does this pasta party the night before they have a race. So I was at one last night, and there's Christopher Luya's daughter was there, and she said, she's only like 4. She's like, "You always wear the same clothes." I was like,
she said the same thing to me, so don't feel special.
Yes, I was like, you are right. I do always wear the same clothes.
But fun things, Thursday, Father, is the Powder Puff game.
Oh, yeah.
Will you be participating as a referee or a...
I feel like last year I was a coach somehow.
Okay.
I'm not sure how that works because I don't know anything about football, but I did my best.
Okay.
That's my job on the sidelines at football games. I just stand there and try to act like I know what I'm doing. And all these coaches are saying things and using language I don't even understand in sign language. And then I get there and I smack them and I say, "Good job."
You should wear a headset and start carrying around a clipboard
and just look more official.
Yep. And just.
But then they might ask me questions, and it'll be very clear very quickly that I don't know anything about what is going on.
Tell them to run the ball that way, and don't let them go that way.
Okay.
Very simple. And then Friday is a homecoming assembly, Father, where there's a bunch of games and things like that. Will you be participating in any of those?
I'll be there.
Okay.
I'm suddenly feeling all this pressure to do all these games. Do you have something planned? Are you going to put me into a game last minute without warning me?
Dunk tank.
Oh, great.
Put your stump the Father.
Father Mark gets to do that at St. Gerard Festival.
Are you in a dunk tank, Father? There's two fathers here. This could be very confusing. So if you're watching us on News Channel 9, just be sure to see where I'm looking to know which father I'm talking to.
Yes, no, I have not made it to the dunk tank at St. Gerard yet.
Is it a permanent fixture, or is it just brought in for special occasions?
Oh, yeah, just for our festival.
Okay.
But it seems to be a big deal, and Father Mark has done a great job with that, so we'll just let him stay with that for a while.
What if we, after Masses at St. Gerard, had a dunk tank, and the pastor, whoever was preaching, has to sit there, and if anyone didn't like the homily, they get to push you in?
Well, that doesn't happen at St. Gerard.
Of course.
Yeah, maybe your Masses, Father.
Yeah, they dunk me every time. Preach too long. Too much singing, Father.
Seems like a new way to do a baptism, though.
No, I don't think that's going to fly. We'll have to check with the canon lawyers. I called Father David Fons about
Full
that.
immersion.
Thanks. All right, that's all we got for homecoming week. What should we talk about next?
I don't know. You brought the guest in. He's
All
your
right.
roommate.
Father Bob, how about you tell us a little bit about how you ended up at St. Gerard?
Yeah, well, actually, it's a very cool story about how I ended up at St. Gerard. I was the pastor of St. Isidore in Lanesburg and Holy Family in Ovid, which are two of the smallest parishes in the diocese, and I loved it there. I was in my third year. I was pastor there for 3 years. St. Gerard opened when Father John Klein retired. It was a long shot. St. Gerard is such a big parish, but something on my heart was tugging about thinking about it and praying about it. And then some other people started asking me if I was thinking about it, and there came time for me to let the bishop know if I was interested in it or not. And it was the very last weekend where I had to let him know by Monday if I would be interested or not. And I was sitting in the confessional at Holy Family in Ovid. A gentleman came in, and on his way out, he turned around. He says, "Oh, Father, I forgot. I have this for you." And he gave me a first-class relic of St. Gerard. And he had no idea that I was considering that. And so, I don't know if that was coincidence or not. You decide for yourselves, but that made me confident that I should at least tell the bishop that I would be interested in going. So now I've been there for 3 years, in my fourth year now, and it feels like it's just been a week that I've been there. It's just gone so fast, but I love it. I love it.
This is an interesting thing you're saying, Father. So I was always under the impression that the bishop appoints you and you go. Like, I didn't know you were given any sort of choice in where the bishop sends you.
No, you are right. The bishop does appoint you, but he typically doesn't force you.
Okay.
So he'll put out if there's open parishes, he'll put out a announcement ahead of time and ask guys to pray and discern, and then to let him know if they're interested or would be interested in going there. And then from there, he makes his decision.
Okay, that was a different part of the process that I was not aware of. That's fun.
Now, when you're an associate in your first years, yes, you have
just go.
little to no say.
Get sent, yeah. So far for me, I've had no say. I've just been told where I'm going, and I go, and I say, yes, Bishop. So what was the timeline with that? You had that encounter with the relic, and then shortly after, you must have told the bishop. When did he actually call you and say you're going to be the new pastor?
Yeah, I don't remember that. It was you get called in before the assignment board, and they ask you some questions. And I actually happened to be on the assignment board, so I was asked to leave the room while they talked about me behind the closed doors, and then I came back in, and they had a little bit of faith in me to go to St. Gerard, so they sent me there. So it was a big shock. Because that was a big jump, from the smallest parishes to one of the biggest parishes in the diocese. And thank goodness there's a wonderful staff at St. Gerard, and that Father John Klein had done such a wonderful job at building that parish.
I remember that day when we all moved in, because you and me and Father Mark all showed up on the same day. Father David Fons was also there. We had pizza for dinner. I think it was from that place that closed. Do you remember? What was the one over by the cemetery? That's DeLuca's.
Oh, DeLuca's,
Yeah,
yes.
DeLuca's Pizza.
DeLuca's of happy memory.
Yes. Yeah, but time has flown by. Here we are. We're all now in our fourth year.
Yeah.
So who lives at the house together? The rectory.
I live there as the pastor. My associate, Father Mark Martin, lives there. And Father Joe Campbell, the campus minister of Lansing Catholic High School, lives there temporarily. No, not temporarily.
Until they kick him out.
Until they just
find a new apartment.
Yes.
So it's creating this odd image in my head of the three of you guys, and like it's not my three dads situation, but do you guys have a typical routine? Is one of you the cook? Is one of you the shopper, or do you guys all kind of live individual lives? You can't ignore this one. We're not
we're like-
editing it out. They're both hesitating
We're
on
both
what
hesitating.
to say.
So we definitely all have different things that we have going on throughout the day. So there are many days when I don't really see them, they don't see me, and we're all just doing our different ministry duties. But there are certain patterns. Like you seem to like to shop the most, I'd say. There are times when
Like
you'll
grocery
For
shop. not
groceries.
like
You're not going to
grocery
Aeropostale
no.
and picking out some new pants.
So yeah, whenever Father Bob goes on a Costco run, it's a good day because that means we'll have lots of food in the kitchen for a while. We all cook a little, at least a little. I think I
do you
probably
cook for each other or do you cook for your individual selves?
It depends.
Like, hey, I cooked up this big thing
Yeah.
of fettuccine Alfredo. Come get some.
Yeah, Father Joe is the best cook in the house, and so Father Mark and I enjoy that. I think that Father Mark is afraid to try my cooking, and I think I'm afraid to try Father Mark's cooking. So, so it's a little bit of give and take. But we're not only are we have different schedules, but we're very different people. And it's been this is the first time as a priest that I've ever lived with another priest. My first assignment, I lived alone. My second assignment, I lived alone. And so this has been new to me. I mean, it comes with its challenges at times, but it's been very life-giving, just to know that at the end of the day, even if it's just for a couple minutes, we're able to touch base. We have a chapel in the rectory, so we're able to pray together. We do try to set aside Tuesday evening as a night where we will have dinner together and pray together and maybe play some Farkle together.
That was my question. Do you guys have specific board games, card games that you'll get together and play?
Farkle is probably the go-to because it's easy and not super long. Like we don't have a ton of time to play some long games, so it's got to be something pretty simple.
Yeah, and Father Joe just makes up the rules as we go.
That's kind of what we do on the podcast, too.
Did I tell you the story of playing Farkle with students at the mission trip? And I've played a lot of this game, and I'm often the scorekeeper. So you just have to do the math in your head when you're keeping track of score. And it's, 200 points, 250, whatever. But there were some students that were amazed that I could do this math in my head. And it wasn't, not like super complicated math. But I was like, yeah, just don't use a calculator. Just practice in your head and you can get things. They're like, no way, this is not possible. How are you doing this?
Now, so you guys at St. Gerard, you're an interesting place over there.
That's a
kind
good
of on the west
description of
side.
St. Gerard.
No, I haven't got to the interesting part yet. So you're kind of situated between Grand Ledge and Lansing Catholic. What have you found as your mission and your role in meeting between the public school and the Catholic private school?
Oh, sure. So you're talking about school in particular.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So we're one of the main feeder schools here of Lansing Catholic, but we also have a lot of kids that go to Grand Ledge, DeWitt, homeschooled, and others, I'm sure. And so we have a robust religious education program and youth ministry program. One of the unique qualities of St. Gerard's, especially youth ministry program, is that it is student-led. So we have dedicated adult volunteers and staff, but they equip the kids, engage in ministry, and then they are able to step into those roles with that support. And so our youth ministry program, it has a lot of our public school kids, but also a lot of the Lansing Catholic kids will join as well.
Very nice.
I did have a question someone wanted me to talk about, Father, and that was the prank we did to Father Mark a few weeks ago with the skeleton that I borrowed from the
Yes.
Oh, is that the guy
anatomy
who's on the couch
class.
over here?
Yeah, so we had the skeleton in the house for a while because I was repairing the stand so that it can stand upright. And I did prank Father Mark. I put the skeleton in his bathroom.
Oh, gee.
And then I was just hoping that I could be home when Father Mark showed up so I could witness his reaction. And not only was I there, but also Father Bob was there when he opened the door to his bathroom. How would you describe his reaction, Father Bob?
Well, it was quite classic. So we were sitting, Father Joe and I were standing in the kitchen, and we can see into Father Mark's little suite area. And he comes in, he goes into his room, and he didn't see the skeleton. And then he's coming out, and I don't know if he had anything in his hands or not, but he must have caught the skeleton out of the corner of his eyes. But he jumped probably like a good 22 feet. No, I mean, he jumped, and then he made these sounds that like I've never heard him make before. So he definitely startled him.
Yes, I was even contemplating following because after I repaired the stand, now I have the skeleton that can stand upright on its own, And so then I thought about taking it and putting it right outside his bedroom door in the middle of the night so that when he wakes up in the morning and opens the door, it's like looking him in the eye.
When you're half asleep and just brushing away.
But I was like, I don't know. Maybe I'm pushing this too far. So
Yes.
I didn't actually do it and didn't want to get kicked out.
You've got to
of
figure out a
St.
way to put it on wire so you can like make its head move and its jaw move and it just like looks at you like that.
Little red LEDs in the eyeball
Oh,
sockets.
there we go.
No, I wouldn't do that to Father Mark. I wouldn't like.
Well,
that
not
would-
anymore. You said it, so now that it's out there for the public to hear.
Yes. Let's see. There was something else I was going to ask Father Bob, and now I'm forgetting.
Check
what
your
it
notes,
was.
Father. Maybe you wrote it down.
Why don't I mention when I was a associate at St. John's in Davison, Father Joe, then Deacon Joe, actually lived with me for a summer there. I was off at World Youth Day in Krakow, Poland, and I got back after this long trip, beautiful trip, wonderful trip, but I was dead tired. And I get to my rectory, and I just want to go to sleep. And it was empty. Father Deacon Joe was back at seminary, opened my door, and there's a giant, oversized kayak from our garage that's from wall to wall in my bedroom, over my bed, with a sign that says, "Welcome home."
Well, that
And
was nice.
Yes,
Very
yes,
nice.
especially like the 7 colonies of
sh-
spiders
oh.
that probably
All different
took
kinds,
residency
too.
in my room that day. I've told Father Joe now that I'm the pastor.
No more pranks.
unprankable.
You're
Yes.
immune. Yep. So I didn't put the skeleton in Father Bob's bathroom. I knew better. You'd have to find a new place for me to live if I pushed the boundaries on all that.
There's, I'm sure a lot of people would take a prankstering father in there. No, they won't. You're homeless. You have to live in your car. Live in a van down by the river.
Well, any last words, Father Bob, that you would like your students or
For the
families
podcast,
here to
we assume
hear?
you're not dying. Yeah.
No, this is great. I heard you got tons of viewers, and
I think we're up to dozens now.
really,
Oh, yeah.
Movers and shakers in the podcast industry.
and I hope this continues to go. I saw you guys on Facebook from somebody interviewed from, what was that? Some other.
ICLE.
Oh,
I
ICLE.
see.
Yeah. That's
They
going
put you
around.
on your. They
That-
put you on your Facebook.
That was before we flushed the mouse, and Father just completely zonked our last podcast. So,
Yep. Thankfully, the SD card was working for that one.
yeah.
Yeah, just I guess last thing, a little plug. St. Gerard's Parish Mission is coming up on the weekend of October, I think 14th, 15th, 16th. It coincides with the feast day of St. Gerard, and also we have we commissioned a beautiful painting of St. Gerard, who is the patron saint of pregnancy and troubled pregnancy and people trying to get pregnant. We've had several people since then that have seen this image come to pray before the image of St. Gerard for his intercession in those areas. So certainly, if you know anybody, suggest they make a little pilgrimage over to St. Gerard and offer a prayer.
That was an excellent plug. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a beautiful painting, and it's it's an original work of art done just for the parish. It's got part of it is Saint Gerard. He's holding in his hand an image of the church, Saint Gerard. And then in the background, there's all these other churches from the diocese. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh,
Very
that is
unique.
nice. So it's a local
Yes.
commission.
Yes.
Oh, very
Yes.
nice.
From a guy in Jackson.
Yeah, they originally on this, it was on all the churches are on a hill, and originally he had St. Thomas in East Lansing towards the top of the hill and St. Gerard at the bottom of the hill. And I said, I'm sorry,
Oh.
you're going to have to change that.
Oh, yeah.
And he did.
The politics of commissioning artwork.
Well, thanks so much for taking the time, Father Bob.
Yeah,
We
thank
appreciate
you.
it. Thanks for listening, everybody. Be sure to tune in next week for all the latest at Lansing Catholic
and beyond.
and beyond. I'm Father Joe.
I'm Mr. Stolpa.
We'll see you next time.
Go Cougars.